Hey guys, what's going on? Today we are going to do this look right here, which is my back to school, or you have to get ready quick for work, or you're in a pinch and you slept too late and you have to get ready makeup look. So my whole theory behind getting ready in a pinch is looking polished, looking awake, and focusing on the things that matter rather than the things that like add the extra pizzazz to your makeup look. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I use, and I'm gonna show you my tips and tricks for prep when I know it's gonna be a busy week. So I'll like tan my body, I'll have my eyebrows done, I'll walk you through all of that, and then I'll go into how I cut back on product use. So I save time severely by cutting back on the amount of products I use. So I combine some products and then I just completely eliminate some other products from my routine, and it helps so much. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this look right here, in honestly, if I wasn't talking through it, it would have been 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, because I want every extra ounce of sleep I can possibly get. My brain does this weird thing where if I know I have to get up early, my brain's like, sleep 5 more minutes, sleep 5 more minutes. So I've really mastered this routine. So anyway, if you guys are interested in seeing how I do it, go ahead and keep watching. So the key for me when I'm trying to get ready quickly, whether it was for school in college or for work today, or if I'm just in a super rush, is to condense the amount of products you're using. So I see some people out there doing like get ready for school, back to school makeup, and they're carving out their eyebrows and they're cream contouring, or they're going in with like a bronzer and a contour. Like, I would not do that personally, just because I'd rather take that time to sleep. So I know that sounds weird, being somebody who's out there on YouTube sharing makeup tricks as a beauty lover, but it's true. So the first thing I would do is I would condense the amount of products I'm using. So instead of going in with like a full coverage foundation with a beauty blender, I would combine it with applying my moisturizer in the morning, which is something I always do. I always apply moisturizer in the morning and at night. So I would mix them together and then apply it to my face with my hands, which is what I'm gonna show you. You could also totally do this with like a CC cream or a BB cream. I just personally am not a CC cream, BB cream lover. I don't really like any of those products that like tint to your skin tone. It never seems to work out for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix my moisturizer with my foundation. I feel like I'm going to start sweating because it is so hot in here and my hair is down. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my moisturizer. I use the Embryolisse. I kind of teeter-totter between this Embryolisse, I think it's called Creme Concentrate. This is a really good makeup primer. I use this when I do wedding makeup. It works on pretty much everybody, and it's super hydrating, which is really nice if you're mixing it with a foundation. And then I also use my CeraVe moisturizing cream, and I did already apply some, so I do have like a base coat, which is why my face is kind of shiny and dewy. You could see like just how moisturizing this is because I got out of the shower. But typically if I was getting ready for school or something like that, I would just combine them in one step. So there's just a little tiny like pea size, maybe a little bit more of a pea size amount of moisturizer, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in. If it decides to come out, I might be nearing the end of this because I've been loving it so much. I'm using the Maybelline Superstay in the number 220, and I'm just gonna put that on with my hands. So because I mixed such a full coverage foundation with a moisturizer, it took it down to about medium coverage, but it really evened out my skin, covered up my redness, and then it also kind of made my neck match my face because my tan is coming off of my face. Something I also do at night, which is helpful, is use the Ulta Beauty Bronze Glow Self Tanning Drops. I just mix this into either my moisturizer or I mix it into my like serum that I use, and then apply it to my face, and it makes my face nice and tan. I'll do this tonight, and then when I wake up it'll be tan, so it again kind of cuts back, and I don't even feel the need to always go in with a, you know, base product like I just did. I'm just kind of showing you guys options to kind of cut down your time, but really I probably wouldn't go in with a foundation at all when I have like a nice tan tan on. Same thing with the eyebrows. I just got my eyebrows dyed today. They're a little intense. This is the first time I didn't do them. I let somebody do them at the place I get my brows threaded, and I'll never do that again. I just like need the control of being able to know where I'm putting the product. But anyway, that's another step that I'll show you a little bit later when we're doing eyebrows. That really comes in handy. So in the same turn as what I just did with the moisturizer and the foundation, I would do the same thing with my eye cream. So I have the Glytone eye cream, and then I have the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in Natural Beige, and I would just mix these together, and that would be my like skin care routine in the morning. So I would just take a little tiny amount of the eye cream, and then I'll mix my concealer right in there. And this is definitely gonna sheer it down, but it's also gonna just cut down on that time. So you've basically got your base done in your skincare routine. And I'm just gonna do that with my finger. Same thing as the foundation. A lot of people are scared. I'm just gonna hold my mirror up. A lot of people are just so scared to go in with their fingers and apply, but the warmth of your finger really helps to kind of push it into the skin. Now, I would have a beauty blender handy just because my under eyes are so creasy. I would need the beauty blender to go in and pick up the extra product, but if you don't have as creasy eyes as I have, just use your finger. I changed the camera angle because my feet were starting to fall asleep and I was sitting on them. But I wanted to mention that at this point, I wouldn't go in and like spot conceal anywhere when it's like time to get up and go to school or go to work. Like, I'm not concerned about the little tiny things. I don't need to have like a full face of flawlessness going on. I just want to look like awake. So the next thing I would go in with is the Smooth Flawless Even Youth Airbrushing Boosting Perfect powder from Physicians Formula. This is like an illuminating powder, which I always like in the morning. I feel like my skin can look a little bit dull in the morning, so I'm just gonna set my face with that so nothing slips while I'm going through my day. And then I will also go in under my eyes and just set that concealer as well. So real life time, this would have literally taken me about 2 to 3 minutes to do all this. So talking through it, keep in mind, I'm trying to explain what I'm doing and it takes a little more time. So the next thing we're gonna go in with is a bronzer. I'm just gonna lightly apply this so I can bring some life back to my face. And again, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in bronzer, Wet n Wild brush, and these are like my go-tos. So I'm just gonna lightly hit the cheeks, top of the forehead. And because we use that moisturizer, I'm not really trying to go in and buff too hard because I'm gonna move that product around. I'm trying to more pat. Feel. Oh my God. So I feel like I've cooled down a little bit. So while I was grabbing the blush, I took off my headband. But today we're gonna go in with the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted, the scented blush, which really isn't scented at all. And this is the shade Just Curious. I like this. It has a little bit of sheen to it, so it really makes me look awake. And I'm just gonna take that on this Wet n Wild blush brush. So I'm just gonna run that along the cheeks lightly. Again, I'm not trying to be too precise with this because I'm just trying to look awake and like I have some color. And this stuff is really pigmented, so a little goes a very long way. And I'm kind of enjoying applying my blush a little bit higher up lately. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'll just take my bronzer brush and kind of work right on top to blend everything in nicely. And highlight is totally optional. Skip this step if you don't have a lot of time. I would certainly skip it if I didn't have a lot of time and I was like running super late, but I'm gonna go in and just highlight a touch with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder. This is in Precious Petals. And I have been enjoying kind of taking my highlighter all throughout the like top of the cheekbone rather than like a precise highlight. So I'm gonna take that same blush brush that I was using, dip right into Precious Petals, and I'm just gonna kind of go right along the cheekbone. I've just been really enjoying not having such a precise highlight. I think it's really, really pretty. And then right down the nose. And then a little on the chin. A touch going up from the top of the eyebrow bone. And then I'll just take my finger and hit it right above the lips. Make sure you do this step after you brush your teeth. See what I mean? How it's just kind of like all over? I love that. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just stamp on top to really meld it into the skin. So eyebrows. This is what I was talking about earlier. I think it's super important once a week to dye your eyebrows if you don't like the color or don't have a lot of hair, to cut back on get ready time. So again, I had my eyebrows dyed today. This isn't my favorite. I usually dye them myself. I let the place that does my eyebrows do them today. It's fine. It's just not like, it's a little bit heavier than I would typically go in with, but it's fine. It'll fade. So I would recommend doing that, and then that will cut back. Like, I'm not gonna fill in my eyebrows whatsoever. I'm gonna use a tinted brow gel. This is the Brow Stylist Plumper from Loreal, to kind of just keep the brows in place and add a little color where I need it. But getting your eyebrows dyed just helps cut back on get ready time so much, and it makes life so much easier. So you could see how just applying this as compared to this one, it's adding just a little bit of color and it's gonna keep them in place, which is really nice. So that's literally it. The quickest way to get your brows on and done so you can get right out the door. And if you had like super, super blonde brows and you didn't want to dye them because it just would look unnatural, take a clear brow gel, run it through your brows so they at least stay together, and get out the door. It's really not that serious when you're going to school or getting ready quickly for work or whatever it is. That's all she wrote for the eyebrows. Next thing I'm gonna do is just make sure my lids don't have any creases, which they don't, and I'm gonna go in with mascara. I do not have the time of day to go in and apply an eyeshadow. If you felt the need to apply eyeshadow, I would recommend going in with like an e.l.f. smudge pot. Let me grab mine so I could show you what they look like. So these are the e.l.f. smudge pots. They're just these little cream shadows in these containers. I really like the e.l.f. ones a lot, and they're super affordable. I have a gold one and a burgundy. Revlon also has one. This is a green one from Revlon. L'Oreal, or I think it's Maybelline, actually has the like 24-hour but like the 24-hour tattoo stuff. Like, that will also work. That's just a lot easier to kind of get on your lid and get out the door versus going in with like a powder and blending and all that stuff. I will take my highlighter quickly while I'm here and just throw that on the inner corner just to open that area, because that always makes me look a little more awake. And then I'm gonna go in and just apply my mascara. So whatever mascara you have, give your lashes a good curl and then go in with a couple coats of mascara to really like kind of open your eyes, and then you'll be good to go. All right, so that's 2 coats of mascara right there. I do not have the world's nicest lashes, but in the morning, I really don't care. I do not have the time personally to apply false lashes, and I don't think that should be the concern when you're going to school or something like that. Like, go there to learn. Don't worry about your lashes. Go in with just a little bit of mascara, and I promise you, you will look together and you will look beautiful. So last step is lips. So I have a couple options here. I have the Revlon Balm Stain. This is like one of my all-time favorites. It just really gives your lips a nice stain. It's comfortable. It kind of is a little menthol-y, and you can go right in. You don't have to line your lips. This is so good. This red color is the absolute best. I don't love any of the rest of the colors, but this one is awesome. Another one that I recently found from Bath & Body Works is by Lily, and it's called the Moisture Lip Crayon. I don't know if this is just like the uncolored, because it really doesn't have much of a color. It's just kind of like a gloss. You could see when I apply it. I guess it's a little nudie. But they have a lot of colors of these at Bath & Body Works as well, which are really nice, and it just kind of gives you that moisture your lips crave, but it also lasts and looks nice and shiny, so it adds a little pop. I'm gonna go in with the red because I love it, and I'll just show you how easy it is. And it's nice to kind of apply a little pop like this to bring a look together. Just like that, so simple, and it just kind of brings everything together. So the last thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and set my face. I have the Flower Beauty setting spray. I picked this up recently because everybody was talking about how like fine the mister is, and oh my goodness, it is so fine. It's awesome. So I'm gonna quickly spray my face with this. All right, you guys, and this is the completed look once I set my face. Like I said in the beginning, it's all about looking polished, looking put together, and feeling like you can walk out the door. Like I said, I think that spray tanning, for me personally, so I'd like to share it with you, is something that makes me just feel a little more confident and like I can knock back on my makeup time. So that's something I really like to do. I did it in college weekly. If I have something going on, like if I'm traveling or if I have a work trip, I'll still do it because I just feel like it makes me feel a little more put together. And using those Ulta bronzing drops in my nighttime routine really helps because I wash my face every morning and every night. It really keeps my face looking glowy and fresh. And then again, the eyebrows, that really helps cut back on get ready time for me. Eyebrows can take me like 10 minutes sometimes, so having that base down there really helps. So I'd highly suggest looking into that. I'll leave below the link to the Amazon like eyebrow product that I use. I would suggest doing it at home if you can, because getting it done sometimes, like me, goes a little bit overboard. But yeah, that is it for this one, you guys. Like I said, polished, put together, and like you can walk out the door. My skin looks healthy, it looks glowy, I look like myself, I just look a little more awake and a little more put together. So let me know if you guys have any questions below. Love to hang out with you guys in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It means the world to me, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.